Welcome everyone. In this lecture, we will learn about loops in C. So there are three types of loop in C: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So we'll go one by one. We'll start with while loop. So at first, we understand the working principle of while loop. So how the while loop works. So it's a while loop. The keyword for while loop is while. Then you check a condition. If the condition is true, so we start by checking the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute this block. After executing this block, it will check the condition again. So it will start by checking the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute this code block within this curly braces. After executing this, it will go to the condition checking again. If the condition is false, then it will just skip this code block and execute the next instructions. So let's say we need to print the hello world statement 5 times. So how can we do that? How can we execute the hello world statement 5 times? Okay, let's try. So I will hello world one time, then 2 times, then 3 times, then 4 times, then 5 times. We need to print the hello world. So at first we need an iterator to keep track how many lines did we print. So let's an iterator I. So we'll start from 1, then finally it will increment 1 by 1. So we'll use the while loop for printing. So we need to check a condition. If the condition is true, then we'll execute, we'll print hello world. If the condition is false, let's say we'll print end of loop. So what's the condition then? Here the value of iterator needs to be less than equal 5. So it is initially 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, but or we can say in total line is equal to 5. So the value of iterator needs to be less than total line. So at first the value of iterator is 1, so it will print hello world once, then we will increment the value of iterator. So let's see what's the output. Now, I need to comment out this. Okay, so it printed hello world 5 times and then finally print end of loop. So how it is done? At first it check the condition. I is equal to 1, it is less than equal 5. So the condition is true. So the condition is true. So it will execute this code block. So it printed hello world. Then we incremented the value of I. Then I is equal to 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now the value of I is equal to true. Then it is go to the condition. It will go to the condition again. Now the value of I is equal to 2, which is less than 5. Then it will execute it again. After that, the value of I will be 3. It will execute again. Then the value of I is equal to 4. It will execute again. After that, value of 5. The condition is true. It will execute again. Finally, the value of I will be 6. Then the condition will be false. So it will skip this block and get out of the while loop and execute the remaining portions. So this is how the while loop works. Now we'll learn about the for loop. So we'll learn about the for loop. So in for loop, the keyword for loop is for. There are 3 different segments. So the for loop starts from here, the initialization part. So before executing the for loop, if we need to initialize any variable or initialize anything, this will be called. This segment will be called, and it will be called once, only once before starting the loop. After that, it will go here. Here we will write the condition checking. We will check the condition. It will go here. If the condition is true, we will execute this code block. We will execute this code block. After that, after finishing this code block, we will go here. So if we need to do anything after executing all the instructions within the curly braces, generally we increment or decrement something. You can do anything. So after finishing this code block, if we need to do anything, then we will write it here. Then it will go to the condition checking again. If the condition is true, it will execute this block again. Otherwise, it will break from the loop. If the condition is false, it will go out from the loop. So this is how the for loop is executed. So now we'll do this again using the for loop. So let's say we want to print hello world 5 times for uh, I is equal to 1. So we'll start counting from 1. So we'll initialize the iterator from 1. Here is the condition is I need to be less than equal total line. Then if the condition is true, we'll print a hello world. So we'll print hello world. After printing the hello world, we need to increment the value of our iterator. So here we can increment this. So every time we finish this block of code, we need to increment the value. So we can increment it here. You can write I plus plus or plus plus I here, your choice. So I plus plus means I plus plus is same as I is equal to I plus 1, or you can write I plus equal 1, your choice. So both of all of them are same. So it will also print hello world 5 times. Let's see the output. Okay, it also printed hello world 5 times. So it will be called once. After it is finished, then it will check the condition. If the condition is true, we will execute this code block. After this code block, finishing this code block, we will increment the iterator. Then the condition will be checked again. If condition is true, this code block is executed, then we will increment, then again the condition will be checked. If the condition is true, we will execute this code block, or we will go out from the for loop. So this is the basic working principle of for loop. So let's say we need to print from 1 to 10, or we want to print the um, we want to print the even numbers from 1 to 10. So for I is equal to 1, we'll start our counting from 1. I is less than equal to 10, we will go to till 10, then I plus plus. So here we need to check the condition. If I is a even number, that means if I is divided by 2 and there is no remainder, then we will print I. Print a percentage d. So here we printed the even numbers from 1 to 10. So you can use that way. Now we'll learn about nested loop. So how it is done? Nested loop. Nested loop means loop inside a loop. We'll skip a do while loop in this lecture. In some upcoming lecture, we will go through do while loop. For this lecture, we will only focus on while loop and for loop. So now the nested loop. So let's say I want to print this kind of a pyramid. So how can we do that? So how can we do that? Just a minute. So if you check carefully, we need to keep track of two things. First of all, there are 5 lines. So line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. So we need to print 5 lines. So at first do this. We print 5 lines. So how to do this? For I is equal to 1, I less than equal 5, I plus plus. So we need to print. So let's say in each line we will print a star. So 5 star is printed, but we will 1 star in each line. So okay. So in each line we printed 1 star. So now the second thing, using one loop we were able to print 5 lines. Now in each line the number of star is variable. So let's say in line 1 we need to print 1 star. In line 2 we need to print 2 star. In line 3 we need to print 3 stars. In line 4 we need to print 4 stars. In line 5 we need to print 5 stars. So in each iteration of the loop we need to print variable amount of stars. Look carefully, in each line the number of stars is equal to the line number. Number of stars is equal to the line number. So in each line we will print line number amount of stars. Okay. So at first we are printing 1 star in each line, but now we will print line number amount of stars in the, let's say, line number. So using I we can keep track of the line number. Okay, there are 5 line numbers. So in each line we will print the line number amount stars. So we need to use another variable j. J is from 1 and j is less than equal I. So we will need to keep track of. So in line 1 we will count from 1 to 1. In line 2 we will count from 1 to 2. In line 3 we will count from 1 to 3. In line 4 we will count from 1 to 4. In line 5 we will count from 1 to 5. So in line 5, in line I we will count from 1 to I. This amount of stars we need to print. And after each line we need to go to the new line. So now see the output. Okay, so using I we keep track of the line numbers, and using j we keep track of the number of stars we need to print. So it is an example of nested loop. We can use loop within a loop. It is called nested loop. Okay, now I want to talk about two keyword, break and continue. Let's say you are told to print from 1 to 10, and okay, let's say you will print from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Printf will print from 1 to 10. So let's print 1 to 10. So you do not want to print the even numbers, or keep it simple, you do not want to print number 4. So how can you do that? You just print 1 to 10 but skip number 4. So you can do this in this way. Printf, you print this number I. Before that you put a condition. If I equal 4, if the number is I equal to 4, then you want to skip everything. You don't want to print them. So if you want this iteration, then you can use continue. So what does the continue keyword do? If continue is executed, then the rest of the statements in this block will be ignored. So we will ignore the other statements and go to the this statement. So within the for block, nothing will be printed, or no action will be taken. So let's see what's the output. Okay, so here you can see 4 was not printed because when I is equal 4, then we executed continue. So that's why is printed statement is ignored and we went to the increment operator. So this is the increment. Another keyword is break. Break means break out of the loop. So if I is equal to 4, you don't want to continue the loop, just break the loop. So let's see the output. Okay, so 1 was printed, 2 was printed, 3 was printed. When I is equal to 4, break. That means the loop is won't just execute. So we came out of the loop, and if there are another statement, this will be printed. So okay, so 1 2 3 as I is equal to 4. At first we were supposed to print from 1 to 10, but if I is equal to 4, I wrote the break statement. That means we won't continue the loop. So it came out of the loop and print the other statements. So that's how the break statement works. So that's all for the loop. Thank you.